Welcome back to the Movement Network Bar, and today we're going to talk about something that hasn't happened within the last 20, 21 years or so. Last person we saw do this was another British fighter by the name of Lennox Lewis. By the way, one of my favorite heavyweights boxers ever. But today we're going to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, and having the opportunity to be the undisputed heavyweight champion within the last 20 years. It hasn't happened within 20 years in the heavyweight division. So, for me, this is a very interesting fight, and we're going to talk about it today. But so that you know, according to Eddie Hearns, this fight's already signed, sealed, and delivered. They haven't properly announced it yet, but I believe Eddie Hearns is out there trumpeting, saying that there's a 2-fight deal. The first one is going to take place from June or July, and then the other one will take place on November or December 2021 this year. So we're going to talk about that today. I think it's an interesting matchup, especially since a lot of people are not giving AJ any at all. I've read some comments. I spoke to a lot of my friends. And no one is giving AJ, practically anyone, no one is giving AJ any chance in the world for this fight. And it's interesting because I don't know if my prediction is going to end up with AJ or Tyson Fury, but it's going to be an interesting one. So let's get started. So first we're going to get started with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, 30 fights, 21 KO, 0 losses, 1 draw. And we know that draw came at the hands of Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury had a rematch clause in their contract. We all know that, but unfortunately, in October 2020, they had to agree on fighting before October 2020. So it didn't happen. So therefore, it just went to trash. It's wasted. They could do whatever they want now. So Tyson Fury has selected to fight Anthony Joshua instead of fighting Deontay, the Bronx Bomber, Wilder. So last time we saw Tyson Fury, I thought it was a hell of a good fight. I think he fought a perfect fight. He came in heavier than ever. Not than ever, but compared to the first fight that he fought with Deontay Wilder, he came in heavier, stronger, and he came in with a mission to knock out, or to push, should I say, Deontay Wilder, which he accomplished that. And we all know what happened in that fight. Tyson Fury TKO when Mark Breeden threw in the towel. So Deontay Wilder was stopping that fight. I personally do think that Tyson Fury had a perfect game plan for that fight, but it's not the same game. Excuse me, it's not going to be the same plan versus Anthony Joshua. And I do think that the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, has a really good team right now. He does. And it's going to be a really, really good fight. Now let's talk a little bit about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, 24 fights, 22 KOs, 1 loss. And that 1 loss, he got stopped. That loss was against Andy Ruiz. A lot of people were complaining after that fight that, so for the fight, a lot of people were complaining that he lost. He's not as good as he's supposed to be. Whatever the case is, I do think that Anthony Joshua just fell in love with his power and wanted to go out there and knock everybody out. Unfortunately, it caught up to him. Andy Ruiz, I won't say embarrassed them in Madison Square Garden, which was a great fight. I was actually in that fight. I covered that fight. I won't say that Anthony Joshua got embarrassed in that fight, but I will say that he was not expecting John Ruiz to be as strong and as fast as he was. Right? He shocked a lot of us in that fight, myself included. So after the one fight, which was in 2019. Then again in 2019, they had the rematch clause, which Anthony Joshua came in. Now, here's where I don't understand this. A lot of people are saying that Anthony Joshua came into the fight and he was running. Whatever the case is, he fought a good fight. a smart fight, and he won. And as a fighter, you have to understand sometimes you could have a war, and sometimes you need to just get a victory. And that's exactly what Anthony Joshua did in that fight. He just went in, did what he had to do, won, and then he moved on to pull off. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people kept on complaining about Andy Ruiz was too fat. He was slow. He was sluggish. The fame got to his head. He's never had so much money. That's not Anthony Joshua's responsibility. That's not his problem. Anthony Joshua came to fight. Anthony Joshua had a perfect game plan. Excuse me. It's early in the morning, so I gotta be caffeinated. Anyway, Anthony Joshua came to fight, had a perfect game plan. He was using the jab effectively, and for me, it was a good display of what Anthony Joshua could do if he just stayed smart, just like we've seen the Klitschko brother do, as well as Lennox Lewis. Now, his last fight last year when he fought Kubrat Pulev. Now that fight, we saw a smart Anthony Joshua. He was aggressive at time, and at time, it seemed as he was having a hard time pulling the trigger. And I will admit, that fight for me, I wanted to see Anthony Joshua a little more aggressive. He still had that whole Andy Ruiz style of when he fought when he fought Andy Ruiz, that kind of style where he was more the defense. He wasn't really that aggressive. Now, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that because I'm in love with the boxing. I love boxing, and you know what? For me, that's boxing. So when it comes to this fight, let's talk about a couple of things, right? You know, a lot of people said that the Zone don't have the budget for this fight. They do, and they're gonna make this a pay-per-view fight. We all know that. And for once, I'm happy to see the Zone and Top Rank working together to get a fight like this done. This is a huge fight, guys. This is a big fight. The fight is on. It's been signed for already. They haven't properly announced it, but the fight is 100% on. And moving forward, I think we're just going to see a lot of advertisement for this fight. You know, I do get a little irritated sometimes when they announce a fight a little prematurely. You know, they announce a fight before it's been signed or whatever the case is. And I do feel that this fight is announced a little too early because none of the parties have made a statement yet. But at the same time, I'm happy with what Eddie Hearns is doing, and he's promoting he's going to start promoting the hell out of this fight. And the fight, according to him, is on. We should get it June, July, the first one, November, December, the second one for the rematch. So the question is, you know, talking about this fight, where does Deontay Wilder go from here, right? Deontay Wilder was supposed to have his rematch with Tyson Fury. Last time we saw Deontay Wilder, by the way, 42 wins, 41 KOs, one loss, which he was stopped by. So the two blemishes in his record is the one loss that he has was Tyson Fury, which he got stopped, TKO. And then before that, the draw that he has again was with Tyson Fury. So if you ask me, Tyson Fury has been Deontay Wilder's nightmare since day one. And, you know, I think we're going to see a Deontay Wilder, when he does come back, that it's going to be using the jab a bit more effective. I don't know what happened with him and Mark Breland. I don't care. It's none of my. I truly, that's just drama. I don't care about that. I just care about the fighting and what's going on inside the square circle. Now, in my opinion, who is Deontay Wilder going to fight next? I don't see Deontay Wilder fighting anyone of at the level that he's been fighting or that he fought within the past 4 or 5 fights. I do see him fighting someone like Otto Willen. It's a good match for him. You know, Otto Willen gave a hell of a good fight to Tyson Fury. For me, it was an entertaining fight. And so a lot of people out there, Willen won. Otto Willen won that fight. He was around winning the fight. So I do see Deontay Wilder fighting Otto Willen. Now, there's rumors out there that Deontay Wilder wants to go versus John Ruiz. I think that's not going to be a good match for him at the beginning. Coming off of a loss from Tyson Fury, he should take it easy and fight someone Otto Willing. Who else? Christian Hammer would be also good for him, just to get him back into the mix. Tom Schwartz would be another good one. Someone that is really not going to test him that much, but will give him that taste of winning again, right? Now, with that said, now we spoke about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and even a little bit on Deontay Wilder. A lot of people have been saying that, which is it's kind of, you see it all the time in boxing, that Tyson Fury is going to stop Anthony Joshua within the first 6 rounds. He's going to embarrass him. He's going to and all this kind of crazy stuff. Tyson Fury is going to stop Anthony Joshua. Now, I think some of those people are going to be surprised. I think there's going to be a very competitive fight. I think that Anthony Joshua is going to be ready for this fight. I do, in a way, think that Anthony Joshua saw John Rui's body in the first fight and took him for granted. Said, you know what, I got this fat boy. And we all know what happened. But as you can tell, when AJ comes to fight, he follows the game plan, and it's evident on the second fight. Now, I think that this is a fight that we're going to get the best against the best, right? These are the 2 best heavyweight fighters out there. I do think Deontay Wilder's still in the mix. I'm not one of those fighters that think that just because they got a loss, their career is over. I don't buy that at all. I don't go with it. I don't believe in that. That's trash. We see in the MMA all the time where a fighter will take a loss and then they'll come right back and they'll bounce right back into the mix and they're still able to compete at a higher level. We don't get that a lot in boxing, just because a lot of boxers, a lot of fans think, well, if they lost, that means they're not good anymore unless dispose of them. Not the case. So I do think Deontay Wilder will be out there in the mix pretty soon. Now, who's gonna win this fight? I think it's too early to predict who's gonna win this fight. I want to take some time and first see where is Tyson Fury, because not too long ago Tyson Fury made a statement saying that he stopped training. He completely stopped training. So that's worrisome for me, because Tyson Fury has an addictive personality. So if he's training, he's doing okay. If he stopped training, we have a problem. And I think that if he's gonna stop training with a guy like AJ, he's gonna be in trouble. Now, AJ is a gym rat. AJ is always in the gym. He's always training. He's always bettering his skills, sharpening his knife, as they say. And it's going to be an entertaining fight. But to pick a winner yet, I think it's premature. I think it's too early. So let's give it time. Let's give it 1 or 2 months, and then we'll go from there. I'll definitely be making another video. I want to thank you guys for listening to this video. I want to encourage you guys to subscribe, like, and comment. And if there's a video you want me to make out there, please let me know, and I'll be glad to make it for you guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.